Ladies and gentlemen, today we are gathered here on the occasion of the second Janjatiya Gaurav Divas, celebrated on the 15th of November, to commemorate the contributions of tribal communities in the nation's history and culture. On this day, the country honors all the tribal freedom fighters and re-energizes the efforts for the socio-economic development of the tribal regions. Today is also the birth anniversary of Dharti Aba, Bhagwan Birsa Munda, who was an iconic freedom fighter and a tribal leader of the country. To begin the inaugural session, I request Dr. Toka Su, Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry, to deliver the welcome address and consequently felicitate our honorable dignitaries.
Honorable Professor K. Tharani Karasu, the Director of Studies, Education, Innovation and Rural Construction. Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, teaching, non-teaching staffs, research scholars, and my dear students. I, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, the Registrar, the Special Reservation Cell, and the entire organizing team, warmly welcome each and every one of you to the celebration of second Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. I believe this celebration will help us to see things in new perspective and help us build our patriotism and strengthen our allegiance to our nation. The various events following up will be enriching morally, academically, and culturally, and build up a sense of oneness among us and among our nation. Have a wonderful time as we take you through the journey of today's function from this moment on. I, on behalf of the organizing team, warmly and heartily welcome all of you. And now very quickly, I want to honor our dignitaries. I request our university students to please come and honor our chief guest, Professor Tharani Karasu.
We shall now be favored with a welcome song by the students of Pondicherry University.
Together as one, there are There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, make a better day, just you and me. When you're down and out, there seems no hope at all. But if you just believe, there's no way we can fall.
Well, let us realize, that the change can only come when we stand together as one.
We are the world, and we are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving.
There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It should make a better day, just you and me.
We are the world, we are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, make a better day, just you and me. We are the world, we are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, make a better day, just you and me.
Today we are honored to have Professor K. Tarandikarasu, Director of Studies, Educational Innovation and Rural Reconstruction, Pondicherry University, as our chief guest. I now invite our chief guest to deliver the special address.
Yeah, respected Professor Takasu, who is organizing this Janjatiya Gaurav Divas, and other dignitaries on the dais, and Professor Nalini Madam, and all the faculty members from, I think Jerome is there, and the Professor Arul is there, who is taking care of the special reservation cell. And I am happy to be part of this second Janjatiya Gaurav Divas at Pondicherry University. And it all went, when it was all were busy with the other work, and suddenly we got the information from Ministry of Education. We have to arrange this, and we have to celebrate this second Janjatiya Gaurav Divas at our Pondicherry University to celebrate the contributions of tribal to our freedom fighting as well as our cultural heritage. Then, since I am basically from chemistry department, I thought Professor Tokasu may be a good person. I contacted the registrar office. Professor Mr. Murugayan is the in charge for this special reservation cell. He is busy with the registrar office. Then again, Professor Arul is also busy with other things. Then I contacted Dr. Tokasu. I know he has good contacts in our community here. That's why I requested him, because within 2 days, within very short notice, we have arranged this. Otherwise, if we come to know this earlier, we could have also arranged better. But still, so it is maybe the second year we are celebrating this. That may be the reason we are not aware of this. I told Professor Arul also to take the note of this without even waiting for the information from Ministry of Education. Next year onwards, we have to plan more. We can invite any tribal leader who can enthuse us, also the tribal community here, so that we will be enlightened more on this. So we have, once we are in Central University, many people would like to visit us. So we can plan better than this. But still, I am happy to see the young faces who have shown interest, and I am very happy that they are planning one day event with I could see there are many events. What are the different government schemes for tribal communities, and then contribution of tribal communities in national history and culture is going to given by Dr. Hookup, and then there is a cultural performance and painting competition, and then all the prize distribution events, all those things we are going to have today. So it is a one-day event, and still, so I hope you are going to have a nice time today on this second Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. So as the person who introduced us, he mentioned that we are celebrating this on 15th November on commemoration of birth anniversary of Mr. Birsa Munda. So basically, it is mostly we are organizing this to tell or to spread the news about the youngsters. So those who born after the 1947 independence may not know the history of our freedom fighting and how we travel all along. So, but we have to remember this independence, how independence war was, we battled, what are the different regions, different tribal as well as the other freedom fighters, how they fought to get the independence. We may not know this because we are now living in a different era. There is no need to also understand or remember this also. But unless otherwise we celebrate like this, we may not able to remember all those things. That is the main motto of this. So you must be knowing the Birsa Munda. He was just when he died, he was just 25 years old only. So he is basically a Chota Nagpur tribal, and he was a freedom fighter. So he was fighting against the forcible land taken over by the British people. So he was arrested because of this, and he passed away in prison itself on June 9, 1900. And not only this, there are many people who fought for this, many tribal leaders who fought for freedom, for independence of our country. And I think you may be knowing this, but still for the youngsters to understand this, so we should also remember this. Like Alluri Sitaram Raju is basically from Andhra. So he gave his life fighting against freedom from British people. So he was called as Manyam Virdu, like it is called hero of jungle in Andhra. Telugu. So he also fight against British people, and because of this he was captured and then executed in prison. Just think about the life they were thinking about how to get the freedom, but the British people captured them and then executed them. Then you can understand the atrocity of British rule. Then you may also know the Rani Gaidin Liu. So he is basically from Manipur born, but Naga chieftain, and he actually fight against the British people using the army. Then she joined the Hiraka movement in 1927. So he became the leader of guerrilla troops against British at the age of 16 itself. Then you can understand his valor, and then how determined against the British rule. And there were brothers called Sidhu Murmu and Kanhu Murmu. So they were brothers. They participated, and then the leaders in the Santhal revolt in 1855. Though basically in 1855 they used the bows and arrows to fight against British people. So during this battle, nearly 20,000 Santhals died during this revolt, Santhal revolt. In that revolt, both the brothers also died. You can understand 20,000 the tribals died during this. 20,000 in 1855 is huge number. So like the Titka Maji, he was the first Adivasi leader from Santhal community. So there was a revolt of Santhals. It is called Santhal Hool. It was from 1770 to 1784. So he was the leader for this Santhal revolt 1770 to 1784. So since he was leading this, he was captured and then tied to horse tail. He was tied to the horse tail, and then he was dragged all along the way to the collector's residence in Bahalpur in Bihar. Then after this dragging, his body was hung in the banyan tree. Then you can understand how cruel they were. They were outsiders, they came here and ruled us, but still there was no, what to say, any remorse for doing this type of cruelty. So these are some of the leaders. There are a big list I have, because I do not want to take much of your time, like Govind Guru. So he was in 1913, he was the part of Magadh massacre, where over 1,000 people were killed by British and princely state army. And Throat Singh, he was the Kasi chief. So there was an Anglo-Kasi war for 4 years. It was happened in 1833. He was captured, and British people sent him to Dhaka. He was the famous tribal leader. Then Telanga Karya he was a Karya tribe from Chota Nagpur region. So he was in the guerrilla warfare against colonial power, and like Jatna Bhagat, he was Oran tribal, one of the 5 largest tribal in South Asia. He established, it was established by Jatra Bhagat. So Jatra Bhagat actively supported non-cooperation movement in 1921, and because of him, the Bhagat Agriculture Land Restoration Act was passed as the result of his influence. Then Rajmohini Devi, he was a Manji tribe. So he also established Babu Dharma Sabha Adivasi Seva Mandal in 1960. Almost more than 80,000 followers were there for Rajmohini Devi. So she educated tribal people and campaigned against superstitions, drinking, and worked for the free of women. Then Narayan Singh, he was the tribal landlord. He belongs to the Gond tribal community of Sarangak region. He provided grain that had been hoarded by the merchant to the cultivators in August 1856. Because of this service, he was publicly hanged by the British rulers in December 1857 at Raipur. So these are some of the leaders I could able to read, because I am also do not aware, frankly speaking, of the service of the tribal community. Since it has come, I thought I should share with this. Are all there in the internet. Nowadays, internet is, everything is there, but who has to tell this, spread this? That is the role of our us and then these teachers. So that you will remember this sacrifice and continue to work for our country and the upliftment of the both tribal community as well as our Indian pride. So why we have to celebrate this also, you have to think. See, the leaders were there, they worked for our country, independence as well as cultural, the contributions were everywhere. And it is not only them, it is you also, you can contribute. You should also think you are also a leader. Up to this stage you have come here, studying in master course, it is not easy job. So instead of leaving your career, thinking only about yourself, you have to think as a nation, how you can contribute to the nation, how we can work for the development of the society, how we can sacrifice, if not sacrifice, how we can dedicate our life to the upliftment of the people. So when you read those leaders, only you can get the light, you can get the confidence. So that is the major aim of this, celebrating this Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. So I hope today you are going to have one day event. So I also informed our Vice Chancellor about this. He is, as you know, he is out of station. So he conveyed his regards and best wishes for this second Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. So with this, I wish you all for having a wonderful and nice second Janjatiya Gaurav Divas Day. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting a brief history in the life of Birsa Munda and other tribal freedom fighters who were crucial in shaping the history of the country, and also for encouraging us all to be inspired by their lives. Now I request Dr. L. Motilal, Associate Professor, Department of Management, to deliver the faculty address.
Professor Tanik Arasu, Director, Studies, Education and Innovations and Rural Reconstruction, Pondicherry University. In absentia, Professor Amresh Samantaraya, Registrar, Pondicherry University. Dr. Thokasu, Coordinator of this event. Dr. Valerie Dr. Harsh Meena, Professor Nalini Thampi, Professor Jerome, Professor Arul, Professor Gafur, my dear other faculty members, students and the rest. Good morning all of you, and I'm very glad that today is a very auspicious day. We are celebrating in memory of our freedom fighters, which we are enjoying. And definitely they have sacrificed a lot of difficulties they underwent. So many have sacrificed life, others have suffered, and we are enjoying the benefits of those activities that time. So this actually, our director finally, with a lot of series of events that culminated into the celebration of this, thanks to Professor Tanikarasu, who has made this program happen practically. Actually, 1 month ago, I got a call from BHU, one of my close friends there. He asked me to, why not you organize this? I was too busy with so many activities in the department and seminars outside the campus as well. So I said that I'll just think over, then by then, all this now finally in the hands of our director, this has culminated into celebration. So thank you so much, sir, for your active involvement and encouragement. And Professor Tokasu also just called me 2 days ago, and I felt very happy that we are organizing this. And I don't know, like our director admitted, I don't know much about our own people. We forgot totally because our lives have become so busy that we are bothered only about daily routine activities. Just get up, rush to the duty, or students just go read some books, attend classes, get back again to home, and again routine. So here teachers, I mentioned that teachers never pass exam. We always continuously reread and so on. So this occasion made me also to learn something about some great leaders. Otherwise we just hear names and leave, but little bit with more attention. Like since my talk is there, I'll be paying more attention to reading. So what Professor Tanikarasu has mentioned, the same leaders, that I'm not going to talk more on that, but just a few things there and here I would like to touch upon. So this particularly thanks to the government of India for celebrating this particular day, Janjatiya Divas. That is the various communities, different community leaders everywhere throughout the country fought and got independence. So it is not just one community, because India, you know that India is a very, very culturally diversified country and very rich. And diversity is nothing but a very, very, actually a great feat of achievement. And you know why America is a superpower today, and why not Russia? They are not on the same path or the same level of development. They are not same. So they will not also be same in the next foreseeable future. Why? Because America is again very rich in diversity. From every part of the world, people are there in America. The same way, at least to some extent, on our own, naturally India has got that diversity. You go every 50 kilometers, there are some language difference is there, food, the dressing pattern, little bit different. Still, we are able to live together with lot of unity. So still, some people are disturbing, but despite all these odds, we are able to live together and sustain our life, and able to show to the world today that India is not less than any other advanced country. Our Indians are there behind anything, you name it, either technology or any field, Indians are always there. And in fact, the circle has come in full, like Britishers who ruled India, indirectly Indian origin, though he is not a citizen of India, present Prime Minister of Britain, he is through forefathers, we can say that he is an Indian, indirectly. And just a few days ago, I was reading an article in the Ukraine war. It is not just a war between the Russia and Ukraine. There are Indians fighting. There are Indians are there, Pakistanis are there, from Arab countries people are there, because they have migrated, settled, and they became citizens of those countries. And they are fighting now. With whom? Tomorrow, there is no surprise that if we are fighting with Pakistan and say that we are fighting with only Pakistanis. No, Pakistanis, there are Indians also there. Same side, again, Pakistanis are also there here. So in the globalization, that is what happens. People go, settle down, and after a few generations, we will be fighting against our own brothers and sisters of other country. So that is the, what do you call, it's a circle. Now coming to the, just very few things about few important leaders, as our director already mentioned, Veer Narayan Singh. See, that time he made possible that looted the food grains. At least we don't have any famines now, but that time there was a famine and people were suffering out of hunger. So he made it possible that looted the food grains and distributed to the poor. And at very young age, as Professor was mentioning, that around 20-25, they contributed a lot in the freedom movement and sacrificed their life. So that we are enjoying, all of us. And see, great freedom fighter, Birsa Munda, who represents Chota Nagpur, which is now today's this Orissa, the region of the west side of the Orissa, Chhattisgarh, and also the Andhra Pradesh. In between that region, his photograph, the portrait was first, what do you call, put up in the parliament. And brothers, Phulo Murmu and Jano Murmu, the great sisters, not brothers, the great sisters, they led the movement, that's a Santal movement, wherein actually you see that lot of tribals, no? Those days population was very less, and particularly to students I'll tell you that, even when I was very young, you don't know that, when I was very young, land was there freely. If anybody just goes and cultivates land, that's all, it is yours. Because there was no competition, land was plenty, population was less. So what tribals used to do, wherever some plain land is there, just to go cultivate crop, and after season again change that and move to some other place. And donkey was the primary vehicle those days. People never had a fridge and all this kind of thing. So only carry few clothes, little bit of food grains on the donkey and move to another place. So that was the situation that time. So these sisters led the movement, what that is called Santal movement, where the Britishers came and they said that okay, this entire area belongs to us. Forest is ours, land is ours. Now who will tolerate that? So tribals were the most affected. So they, in different parts of the country, they led the movement, particularly the Phulo Murmu and Jano Murmu, along with other two brothers. This Sidhu Murmu and Kanu Murmu also joined them and led the movement, and they attacked in the process. Of course, Britishers had the machine guns and rest in the entire world, nobody had the guns. So that is what made Britishers unique at that point of time. So the numbers are very huge actually, 20,000 to maybe 40 or even more, we don't know exact numbers, nobody knows. Even recent past incidents, we are not, if we don't record, we don't know. Luckily now we have a great teacher in the world, that is Google. So Google is there, just a search there we are getting information. And as Professor mentioned again, Alluri Sitarama Raju, he was in the today's Andhra Pradesh Godavari region. He was also a tribal and from the jungles. He again created an army of some people, and again they also fought with the Britishers, and in the process he was also killed. And again professors touched upon Rani Gaidinillu, was a Naga leader from Manipur at very young age, somewhere around 15-16, she participated in the freedom fighting and she was arrested, and luckily she was not killed, and after independence she was still there and she was released from the jail. Then the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, made her release immediately after independence. And Mr. Lakshman Naik, particularly Mr. Lakshman Naik, who is also called the Gandhi of Malkangiri area. Today it is in Orissa. So he took part very actively. He led all people united, and he also contributed a lot in the form of uniting tribals and for the community development programs such as constructing roads, schools and such kind of events. And in the freedom movement, on the call of Mahatma Gandhiji, he led the movement and went to the police station called Maithili, and they wanted to hoist a flag. So in that process, Britishers opened gunfire and many people got killed, around 40 plus. And Lakshman Naik was not killed, but he was injured. Later he was booked by the Britishers that he murdered some other Indian. And he was jailed, and finally he was hanged. So this way, like this, these are only just a few to say, there are so many. leaders who sacrificed and let all of us at least enjoy that freedom. And we have seen that in the history, if we are not united, as our elders already said, and wisdom also says that, what is that? If we are united, nobody can challenge us. If we are not united, anybody can rule us. And today's world politics also the same thing. If countries, strong, powerful countries are united, no other powerful country cannot disturb. So we have to be united. And number one, the most important thing from students' point of view, the skills. The degree alone will not matter, but the skills. Having PhD also doesn't matter. Even 10 PhDs you have no value at all in the economic world. What is required? The skills. You have to learn skills, acquire those skills, and these are very easy now these days and very cheap also. So you can acquire these from the online at very nominal cost, and sure that we will be peacefully be able to live. So with this I conclude my short and very brief talk, and thank you so much Tokasu sir and Professor Tanikarusu, who is still with us, and audience, thank you so much for your patient listening.
I now invite Dr. Harsh Meena, Assistant Professor, Department of Politics and International Studies, to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good morning to all of you, and dignitaries present in the dais and my dear students. And special thanks to Sir Tanika sir for sparing the precious time of his and then joining with us on this great occasion of the second Janjatiya Divas. And thanks to the Government of India and Ministry of Tribal Affairs, MOTA, for allowing us and for thinking about the direction about tribal issues and concerns. So I'm very glad that I'm part of this event. Thank you for having me here on the dais as well, and allow me for have a vote of thanks of the event. Our Tanika sir talked about very significant contribution of tribal leaders. He mentioned various tribal leaders across the country and their life, their concerns, their aspirations, what they fought for. And similarly, the same league has been followed by Professor Motilal. And sir also mentioned about the serious concerns that tribals had in the past and what they fought for, what are the issues in the history. So one thing that we need to remember taking out from all of these two important lectures for us in the morning, that we need to understand who are the tribals are. First, the definitional part itself is very important to understand who the tribals are and how and distinct cultural identity is very important. How different specific identity is very important for a progressive multicultural society. So that is very important you to understand. As a student of you as a young mind, the leaders of tomorrow, you as the policy makers, you the diplomats, you the academicians of the future. So I want you and your contribution to think in these directions, that why we need to understand that who we are really, from where we started, what our struggles are, from where we fought, where our ancestors fought for, why they fought for, what was the serious concern for all of us. It all started with the resources called land. Why it is so important to preserve the resources, who are the aboriginals, who their rights are, why it's important to preserve the identities of those people. So I think I'm very thankful that government is thinking in the direction of celebrating such crucial days of Birsa Munda's birth anniversary, 15th of November. But it's an occasion for us. I think we should seriously think about the direction that we as a student of one of the central university of the country, we have this responsibility now to take our responsibility seriously and to think about who we really are and what are our contribution to our society, to our upcoming tribal fellow citizens also, our generations of the future. We need to let them know that the struggle was real. We need to let them know that there was a serious concern that we should aware in the history and we should fought for in future as well. So I think that is what my loud and clear message to all of you, that you need to understand who you really are, the identities of yours, and your contribution to society. Whatever areas, disciplines you are a science background, or you're from humanities, or you're from different specific respective backgrounds, or you're pursuing masters or graduation or your PhDs, I think if some elements of your research, if you focus in the direction of the tribal studies, I myself have worked in my MPhil and PhD from Delhi University in tribal studies. So I felt that this is my responsibility to contribute my academics, my research contribution to the direction. So I think likewise, I also request and urge on this great occasion that you should also have a serious thinking the direction in whichever manner. You don't need to do a PhD in the respective fields of tribal studies, but any significant contribution you can make to society. I think this is what the occasion that let us remind us once again that there are serious contributions has been made by our ancestors, our freedom fighters, our forefathers for this country, for all of us to have better future for all of us. So not to simply remember and to simply make an occasion as a day like this, but to take this day as an occasion to starting a significant starting in the direction of a serious thinking and serious work in the direction. So on that note, I request all of you to please in future, in whichever direction in job profiles you're going to go and have your contribution to the life in society, please contribute to that. And my all the very best wishes to all the young students, and very thank you to all the dignitaries there in the mic. Thank you all of you for having me. Thank you.